Hi, everybody.
Hi, welcome. Good morning. I have
Good
my
morning.
cup of tea.
I've got my cup of coffee.
Wonderful. Do you prefer coffee to tea?
These days, yes. Yeah, probably before coming to Italy, it was definitely tea I preferred.
Okay, nice. So even growing up, did you used to drink tea or coffee?
I drank, I guess I drank more tea. Yeah, definitely. And then when I discovered good coffee, didn't
You switched.
really go back. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I've always really had tea. Coffee doesn't really agree with me, so anyway, I
Hmm,
have my Chewbacca mug.
that is quite original.
Exactly. I mean, true Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we start with some introductions? Do you want to start, Jenna? Sorry,
Okay.
Jenna.
So, yeah. So my name is Jenna. I'm a teacher at my English school in Bologna. I've lived here for almost 4 years in total now, and I'm from the Bahamas.
Wonderful. And my name is Aaron. I'm from Cork, Ireland, and I've been living in Bologna for 4 years, and I've been teaching at Bologna Mille for 2.5 years. So, welcome to the stream. If you're joining us now, please introduce yourselves in the comments, which are this way, and tell us what was the worst present you've ever received. So, think about a really bad present you've received. Maybe because you didn't like it, maybe you already had it, maybe it's just something terrible. I don't know.
Yeah. What about
Um,
you, Aaron? What's the worst gift you've ever received?
the worst gift I've ever received. Um, I have two stories here to tell.
Hmm.
One is my cousin once bought me for my birthday a passport cover. Now, I didn't know these were a thing, but apparently you can buy these plastic covers for your passport.
Yeah.
So there were two problems with this passport cover.
Oh,
A, it was horrendous. It was
okay.
bright green and just had this horrible picture on it. Like really bad. I don't know. It
Yeah.
was honestly horrible. And and also it didn't properly fit the passport. So
Hmm.
like because
Completely useless.
yeah, because usually these passport covers have a space cut out
Hmm.
for you to read what it is. So it's a
Hmm.
passport, but it was clearly made for a passport of a different nationality, so it didn't fit my
Oh,
Irish passport. It was just a complete disaster.
that is. It's funny
Eh,
because when you saw the passport cover, I thought, oh, maybe I quite like a just like a nice plain passport cover. Why not?
oh yeah, there's some very nice plain passport covers, but that one in particular was not good.
No.
But tell us in the comments, introduce yourselves and tell us about the worst present you've ever received. Jenna, do you have any stories?
Yeah, I'm sure that I could probably think of quite a few if I gave myself the time, but two that come to mind were from the same person
Oh
who
no.
always gave like my family the strangest gifts. And one year she gave me and my sister, I think I was like 11 and she was 8 at the time, bars of soap. We never give people bars of soap as a Christmas gift.
Exactly. Maybe if they are adults
Yeah,
and they particularly like soap,
right.
okay, but
But kids, bars of soap.
what are they going to do with bars of soap?
Yeah, maybe a nice lotion or body wash is something you could typically give even a young girl, but bars of soap, no.
Terrible. What was the second one?
The other one, maybe I should have found it more cool than I did, but she bought these like color. Okay, I was maybe like 13 at the time. She bought
Hmm.
me a coloring book. Um, But the cool thing about the coloring book was it was a coloring book of like famous paintings. So like
Okay.
the Mona Lisa and that kind of thing.
Mm,
And I was into
mm.
art, so I think she thought that would be a nice gift, but I just thought it was so, not for a 13-year-old, a coloring
Yeah,
book.
when you're 13, you're not exactly thinking about a coloring book. Strangely enough, probably if you waited, like as an adult, you would have
Oh,
appreciated it more than as a 13-year-old,
definitely.
Because it sounds like an adult coloring book.
Yeah, I have bought those like in the past few years. They're good because they're stress relieving, right? And
Mm.
you
Yeah,
get all the
absolutely.
cool designs.
Exactly. It's true, and it's probably a good hobby to pick up in this period, when
Mm.
you've got nothing to
Oh
do, why not start coloring?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I was trying to think. I had another story ready, but I can't remember what it was. So I'm gonna have to go with another story. Because I had another terrible gift, but I can't remember now what it was. Because you reminded me of with the bars of soap. I also received
Mm.
bars of soap as a Secret Santa gift.
Okay. Oh wow.
Um, yeah,
Did you find out who it was?
I didn't know. Um, But yeah, they were very good bars of soap, by the way. But I
Oh,
ended up
okay.
giving them to my mum. So
Right, of course.
I hope it wasn't you, Jenna.
No, definitely
Okay. But it was probably before you'd
recycling gifts.
Oh yeah, exactly. But another story was that a friend of mine bought me a T-shirt, and it was the same T-shirt that I was wearing the day of my birthday.
Oh no,
Yeah. So I opened the gift,
that's
I took out the
embarrassing.
T-shirt, and I had it on at the same time, which was quite funny as a coincidence. It's a good story to tell as well.
Yeah. And did they realize, like, I mean, did they never said anything. They thought, okay, well,
No,
I'll let him open it. I'll open
no,
the
well,
gift.
because he arrived at the birthday party, he saw me, and he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "What?" It was like, "You'll understand later."
You love my gift.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
He'll
dear.
find it suits you.
Yeah, and obviously I always tell the story of my mum who received it was either Christmas or her birthday an iron, and so she hates ironing.
Right.
And the worst thing was it came from my dad, who should know better.
Wow.
So yeah, it took her about 6 months to decide she would actually use it. She kept it in a closet for months,
Right. Yeah, I
just out
think
of anger.
right. I'm sure. Yeah, I think we can safely say that items for the house, unless you know that the other person really wants something, are not a good choice.
Exactly, yeah. But exactly, like for example, my dad and his friend always buy each other kitchen appliances because they like it, because that's what they do. So,
Mm-hmm.
which is why my house back at home is full of useless kitchen appliances. Cookers, slow cookers, and packaging machines. I don't even know. They
Yeah.
seem to find a new one every year. Um, okay, well, shall we have a look at our focus? Why not? We have buying presents, which here we go. Buying presents, focus activity 6 to 7. Um, so I'm having trouble finding the. Here we go. So Jenna, can you read, please?
Yeah. Buying presents in the focus activity, choosing presents, asking for advice, and making suggestions.
Yes, excellent. Let's go ahead. And we have our first activity. When was the last time you bought a present? Who did you buy it for? Why do you buy presents? And when was the last time you received a present? Ah, should we start with the first one? When was the last time you bought a present? Who did you buy it for?
Ooh. The last time I bought a present was for my friend's birthday, which was in January.
Hmm.
And um, I bought her like a little set from Yves Rocher. So it was like body shower. It was shower gel, lotion,
Mm.
lots of nice things.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
One
lip
of those
balm.
bundles.
Yeah.
I'll
What
write
about
this in.
yeah?
I'll write this in comments. A bundle is when. How would you describe it? Like lots of gifts in one, maybe?
Yeah. Or you could
Of
say, yeah, a gift set.
yeah. Uh, gift set. Lots of items in one bundle. Excellent. We'll put that on the screen as well. The last present I bought was for my girlfriend. Her birthday was in at the end of March, and I bought her a the collection of the Lord of the Rings books. It's like a
Oh,
box set, and because she's a big fan of the Lord of the Rings, but she's never actually read the books, so I thought, it'd be a good
that's
idea to buy her one.
amazing.
It's a nice edition, and it's got some nice illustrations, and it's got all the maps, and
Oh,
it's
lovely.
yeah, it's really cool. Also, it looks very pretty, like on the shelf in the house,
Yeah.
even if she never reads the books.
Right. So how many books is that then?
Three,
Three.
plus an edition of, let's say, comments about the book.
Okay.
Um, so it's got lots of annotations explaining things because The Lord of the Rings has an incredible amount of story around it,
Mm,
what you would call lore. And so there's some explanation, there's some, um,
nice.
yeah,
That's
it's
a very
cool.
cool gift for a Lord of the Rings fan.
Exactly. I thought so too. Excellent. And why do you buy presents? This is kind of a strange
Yeah,
question.
this is kind of a okay. So I either buy presents because it's someone's birthday and I like buying presents for another
Mhm.
person's birthday, or because it's Christmas, or maybe what could be another reason to buy someone a present?
I suppose it could be maybe for a wedding,
Oh,
or a
of course.
wedding ceremony, or maybe a housewarming gift. This is a
Yes.
nice word as
Yeah.
well.
Housewarming.
Housewarming. Is it one word?
Yeah. Or maybe maybe because somebody has invited you into their home as a host for an
Hmm.
extended period of time, then I might buy a little gift for the host.
Yeah. Housewarming obviously is the kind of party you have when you move into a new apartment or home. You usually throw a party, and people bring you stuff that maybe they think you'll need around the house. So it's usually maybe, I don't know, a frame for a picture, or I don't know, what are some common housewarming gifts?
I don't know, maybe candles.
Yeah, candles maybe. Well, for example, Lisa, our boss, bought us a blender for a
Oh, really?
housewarming gift. Yeah,
Ah, cool.
which
An
was
immersion
really nice.
blender,
Sorry?
in like an immersion blender,
I
or one that
think
you,
so.
yeah.
What is the other option?
The other option is one that you add things into, and the blade is at the bottom.
No, it's an immersion blender.
Okay,
You have the
nice.
container, you put the stuff in, and then you drop it inside.
Mhm. I need
Um,
one of those.
It's really cool, and obviously she bought it because Sophia likes making soups, and so
Mm. Oh, good.
I find it funny because I managed to mention it in a lot of webinars.
That
Okay,
you're
that's
making
great.
lots of fruits.
Yes, exactly. It's become an ongoing joke. Um, Wonderful. What other occasions could it be? But do you ever buy like do you ever see something and think of someone in particular and just buy them a present with no particular occasion?
I have to say, not often.
No,
Usually
neither do
wait
I,
for
but
the
some people
occasion.
do.
Yeah, yeah, I usually wait for the occasion.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
what's hard for me is usually when I'm buying a gift for a friend, it's something that I would like too. Like I tend to buy
Mm,
gifts for people that I know I would like. And then
mm.
it's hard to resist not just buying it for myself and thinking, oh, well, we'll never find out.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, because I know, going back to what I said earlier, I know that some people just see something, think of someone, buy it,
Mhm.
and give it to them. But what I think is, yes, but then when it is their birthday or their or Christmas or something, you don't know
Mhm.
what to buy them, because you've
Right.
already. So
I
it
know.
sometimes it's really hard to think of something to buy.
Mm. Yeah, it's good to buy gifts when there's a big discount on in stores, like when the sales are on, and then later you can think of the right person to give it to. Well, hopefully, yeah, you've already thought, well, this is something they would like, so I'll buy
Yeah,
it and then
true,
save the
exactly.
funds later on in the year.
Exactly. I remember, yeah, exactly, it's true. What did I want to say? Yeah, I always find it difficult to think of presents to give maybe my family, just
Hmm.
because, after two, three, four, five, 10 Christmases,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what to get them anymore.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So you
Luckily,
pick,
with my mum, she always appreciates the same things. So
oh,
she's quite happy to get like the same thing every year.
well, that's
It's like
great.
perfume, a handbag, or jewelry is all she ever asks
Perfect.
for. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, usually at Christmas I just get socks. So, and I
Yeah.
always appreciate it.
You need socks. So
You
it's
definitely
good
do.
to get
I
a good
never
pair of
buy socks for myself because I know I'll get them at Christmas, you know?
socks.
And they're great socks too. They're usually nice socks.
Hmm.
Which brings us to the last question. When was the last time you received a gift?
Hmm. The last time I received a gift, I think was at Christmas because my birthday's also on Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about this.
So for my birthday and Christmas was the last time I received a present.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Was it Christmas or was it um yeah. Oh well, wait, no. I
Hmm?
have received, well, we have received a present after that. So we got a lockdown present.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So Sophia's dad and his wife sent us a gift
Oh,
because of the lockdown. They sent it
yeah.
over, and it was a big Lego set.
Oh, okay.
um, so we had a lot of fun during the
Oh,
weekend making this Lego set. It was the entire set of Friends, the TV show. So they had the bar, they had the couch, and I don't
Lego.
really know because I don't really watch Friends, but still, it was a very
Lego
big
though.
set.
Okay.
Huh? Yeah, Lego, Lego.
Lego. Cool.
I really like Lego. Obviously, I grew up playing Lego,
Mhm.
but very similar to coloring books. You've got the Legos that are clearly for kids, but you also have the adult versions as well.
Yeah.
And this one in particular had a lot of very small pieces, so it was definitely a more adult one, especially because it's Friends. I mean, what kid watches Friends?
No, right.
I
Cool.
say this, but I would also have fun with the kids' versions. Like, don't
I'm
get me
sure you
wrong.
would. Yeah, I would, especially in these days. It's yeah.
Exactly. It's basically a big 3D puzzle, like if you think about it. So definitely buy people Legos in lockdown.
Yes. Next, hopefully there won't be a next lockdown.
Last time the time before I received a present was for Christmas, and I received another Lego set.
Oh.
But this one time it was a Star Wars Lego set, which was fantastic.
Perfect.
Yeah. And what about you, Jenna? You said about Christmas, but what did you receive? I can't remember.
At Christmas, I also received socks from my mum, but yeah, some nice jewelry as well, some clothes. I can't remember. I received a few gifts from friends as well. A nice purse. Yeah, some good
Nice.
things.
Purse is an interesting word as well. What do you define a
As a
purse?
purse.
Yeah, as a purse.
Yeah, so what a British person would call a handbag, I sometimes call a purse. But I
Yeah.
also call a purse a small, like something that's similar to a wallet,
Mm.
but just for money.
So it can be either a wallet for women or a handbag,
Hmm.
depending on where you're from.
Hmm.
Because for me, for example, it would definitely be a wallet, a type of wallet for women.
Yeah.
But I know that especially in America, they use a purse as a handbag. So
Hmm.
it really depends on where you're from. Um, okay, so anyway, if you're joining us now, please introduce yourselves in the comments and tell us about what was the worst present you've ever received, or answer one of the questions on the screen.
Do you like
Um,
buying presents for people?
yes, I do. I especially around Christmas, I like going around the shops and
Hmm.
getting inspired by things and being like, oh, I know who would like this. Oh, I know
Yeah.
who would like this. So definitely, I don't particularly enjoy wrapping
Mm,
presents, but buying them, yeah, definitely. And
yeah.
you, Jenna?
I do. Yeah. With when it comes to wrapping, I tend to put everything into bags. And then I think, well, they can use it again, right? Like if someone were to give me a bag, I would use it again. So things don't get
True,
wasted.
true, definitely.
Hopefully. Yeah, I tend to skip the wrapping bit. But yeah, I love going Christmas shopping or shopping for birthday presents. I have a lot of fun with that, trying to think of
Mm.
trying to think of the perfect gift, but then sometimes it stresses me out a bit because I think, oh
Yeah.
God, what if you don't like it? At the end of the day, most people are just appreciative.
Oh yeah, it's a thought that counts. Actually, this is a classic saying. I'll write it in the comments. It's the thought that counts. This is the classic sentence that you say when you receive a gift that you can't use or don't like. You just say it's the thought that counts. It's that person thought of me and got me a gift, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. We have gift suggestions. Do you
Okay.
want to be blue?
Sure. So we're in a store. I need to buy a present for my daughter. What should I buy?
How old is she?
She's going to be 17.
And what does she like?
She likes music and reading, and she loves fashion.
Well, you could get her a party dress or an iPod.
Mm, that's a bit too expensive.
What about a book?
That's a great idea. Thanks.
Considering we are in a bookstore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of store this is.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
uh,
guys, um, this expression, or this phrase, she's going to be, we say, before somebody turns a certain age. Yeah, she's going to be 17, or she's turning 17, you can also say,
mhm.
when it's almost their birthday.
He or she is,
Anything else that could be interesting?
he or she is turning.
Easy.
plus age. Yeah, exactly. So we use it just before a birthday.
Mm-hmm. And when expressing possibilities, well, you could, you should, to give advice. So here they've said, well, you could buy her a party dress.
Yeah, you could, you should. What are some other good?
Why don't you? And then the infinitive verb. Why don't you buy her an iPod? Why don't you buy him a games console?
Exactly. And these are all plus the infinitive. And then we have how about or what about.
Yeah, with the verb in ing.
So what about buying?
Mm-hmm.
Plus ing. These are all good suggestion phrases. There we go. Perfect. And yeah, any other vocabulary? By the way, if you don't understand any words, please tell us in the comments and we'll explain them for you. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can move on really.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Wrong one. Here we go. Oh, whoops.
Okay.
Sorry, here we go. So here we have a dialogue, and we would like you in the comments to tell us what you would put in these spaces. So yeah, we're going to try it again as well ourselves, right?
Okay, yeah. So shall I complete the gaps?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I need to buy a present for my daughter. What should I buy?
How old is she?
She's going to be 17.
And what does she like?
She likes music and reading, and she loves fashion.
Well, you could get her a party dress or an iPod.
That's a bit too expensive.
What about a book?
That's a great idea. Thanks.
Okay, so if you remember any of these words, please tell us in the comments. Why don't we try again? Maybe with maybe in the second dialogue we have more options that we can change things. Yes, here we go. All right, let's do maybe. Okay, I'll be blue this time.
Okay.
I need to buy a present for my brother. What should I buy him?
How old is he?
He's going to be. Because his birthday was in January. Let's say he's going to be 19.
And what does he like?
He likes playing video games, he likes reading, and he likes going to the gym.
Oh, okay. Well, you could get him a games console.
That's a bit too expensive.
Okay, what about a book by his favorite author?
That's a great idea. Thanks. Perfect. I like how the conclusion was the same. That's great.
Time.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, we can switch roles. Okay. I need to buy a present for my mother. What should I buy?
How old is she?
She's going to be 60.
And what does she like?
She really likes camping and perfume.
Okay. Well, you could buy her a tent.
Yes. That is a little expensive, but I think it's a good investment.
I think so too. Otherwise, you could buy her a bottle of perfume.
That's even more expensive. I think I'll go with the tent.
Oh yeah, I suppose so. It's
Great
true.
idea.
Yeah. All right, let's try again. I need to buy a present for my friend. What should I buy him?
Um, let's see. How old is he?
He's going to be 23.
And what does he like? What are his interests?
He likes traveling, learning languages, and
Hmm.
watching TV.
Hmm. Well, you could get him a passport cover, a very unique
with
passport cover.
with a terrible picture on top. Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that. Why not? Why not? Oh dear, yeah. Do you want to do another one?
Sure. I need to buy a present for my niece. What should I buy?
How old is she?
She's going to be 8.
8. And what does she like?
She likes coloring and playing with her dolls.
Nice. You could buy her um, a new doll.
Hmm, that's a great idea. Yes, I think
Or
I'll do
maybe, or maybe
that.
she already has too many dolls.
Hmm.
Excellent. Oh, by the way, in the dialogue, when you see you could get him or her, that get in this context means buy.
Mhm.
Remember that get has many, many different meanings, but in this case, in this context, it is buy.
Yeah.
Get someone something is buy
Mhm.
something for someone. Okay.
Good.
Um,
Yeah, so I'm trying to think other things you could say besides that's a great idea.
mhm,
If you don't think it's a good idea, you could say, like you said earlier,
mhm,
he or she has too many of those, or they already
mhm,
have one.
mhm. Yeah.
I bought that for them last year. Mm, that's a great idea. That's not a bad idea. And so there are different ways you can respond to that.
They have too many or too much. They already have one. They have too many. Um, yeah, exactly. That's a great idea. A bit expensive, you could say. Um, you could also say it's over my budget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too expensive. It's over my budget.
My
Yeah.
budget.
I once read it's a good rule, but obviously it depends on the person, to buy like friends and family, whatever your like not monthly, whatever your hourly salary is, whatever
Mm,
you get paid per hour, that's a good amount of money to spend on a gift. What do you think of that? Like for most people?
interesting. So you're saying if it's just a gift for
Yeah, just
like a
for,
friend
yeah.
or
Do you
I think
think
it's a
that's about
good
right?
I think it's a good rule of thumb.
Hmm.
Um, a rule of thumb is it's like a general rule, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you don't have to stick to it religiously,
No.
but I think so because sometimes it's really difficult to choose. Um, how do you say
A
the amount
budget
to
or yeah,
pay?
range. Mm-hmm.
Exactly the budget, but I think so. It really depends. If you have a small
Yeah,
family, yes. If you have a big family, then maybe you should drop
right.
the amount because if you have like 10, 15 presents to give,
I
that's
know. It's a lot.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, for me, who has a very small family, I think that's a good amount. What do you think, Jenna?
Yeah, I think it normally works. Maybe I would spend a little bit more on I would definitely spend a little bit more on my parents
Hmm.
because I think over the years how much they've spent on me.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, generally a good rule of thumb. And then at the end of the day, it's not like people are or judging, ooh, I wonder how much they spent on this gift, you know.
No, but you also need to consider that, especially if you're buying something very expensive for someone, like that person will then feel like
Mm,
they need to buy you something,
right. If you're
expensive as well.
exactly, if you make a lot more money than your friends, you don't want to make them
Mm.
feel uncomfortable by getting them a pricey gift.
It's true, exactly. So I think it's a good rule of thumb, but if you do make a lot of money, then I would say stick to something
Yeah.
normal. Not because you want to be cheap, but it's
No.
because you don't want the other person feeling inadequate or that they somehow
Right.
need to
Make
um,
up for that or
exactly buy something similar.
true.
It's always a tricky a tricky situation when it comes to money. Um, okay, let's see what else we have here. What should I buy? So I think we have more questions. Again, let's continue with our conversation.
Hmm.
By the way, earlier we said the verb was to wrap,
Hmm.
and it's to make this basically to put a present in a to cover it
Yeah,
so
to
that the
cover it.
person doesn't.
Hmm. Yeah, typically we cover it with colored paper. Um, Maybe if it's Christmas, paper with Santa Claus or
Mhm.
reindeers on it.
True story. I bought some Christmas wrapping paper with
Hmm.
Christmas trees, and but that's it. That's the only wrapping paper I have. So I've
Okay.
been giving gifts with Christmas tree wrapping paper to everyone, whatever
Oh
the
my goodness.
year,
Yeah.
whatever the time of the year, they get the
This
Christmas
this
wrapping.
is what Christmas babies experience every year.
They
Birthday
don't
presents
get.
with wrapping paper.
Mhm. Okay, so, well, I suppose we'll just continue. If you're joining us now, please create some questions from the words on the screen. So we have occasion, likes, dislikes, last year, budget. So please help us make some questions here. Um,
Hmm.
so in general, let's go into the structure of questions. Um, Jenna, can you remind
Yeah,
our viewers of what
yeah.
the
So to create a question in English, we use the acronym QUASI, which stands for question word. So words like what, where, why, who, when, or a question phrase. So like what kind, how much, how many, and then you need the auxiliary. So helping verbs like the verb to be, to do, have. Then you need the subject. So I, you, he, she, it, or the name of the person, the name of the thing. And then the infinitive verb. Yeah, which is the verb without to. Yeah, the base
exactly.
form of the verb.
Exactly. So let's take, for example, the occasion. Um, well, wait, let's take the second question. um, like or dislike. So we need the question word. So what? Auxiliary. In
Mm-hmm.
this case, we're going to talk maybe in the third person. So does. Subject,
Mm-hmm.
he or she. And the infinitive, like.
Mm-hmm.
We use this structure for any verb, any regular verb, really, whether it's like, study, play, do, run. Remember, you can also use it with do. So, for example, what do you do for
Mm-hmm.
your job, maybe? Or you can repeat do if necessary. The auxiliary of do is do. But not for the verb to be. So for the verb to be, you just invert subject and verb. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, the first question is a question with the verb to be. So how would you make it?
So you could ask, what's the occasion? Or what is the occasion?
Yeah. In this case, as you can see, I'm going to type it in the chat as well. What is the occasion? We invert subject and verb. The subject here is the occasion. So what is the occasion? The occasion is.
So is it someone's birthday? Is it Christmas? Did someone graduate? Those are some examples of occasions.
Exactly. Okay, so we've done the first two. Feel free to join in and tell us the other two, but we'll do them anyway. Let's go to last year. Here we have the past simple. So for the past simple, the only difference is that the auxiliary isn't in the present, but it's in the past. The verb remains in the infinitive.
Yes. So for this question, what did you buy them last year?
Last year, exactly. Year. So again, question word what, auxiliary did, subject you, infinitive by, them last year. So same as before, the only difference is we use did instead of does or do. If you notice here, I wrote, what does he or she like? In this case, I wrote, what did you buy them? Because in English, we can use they or them.
If we don't know if it's a male, female, yeah. So don't get confused because it's easy to look at them and think, oh, well, it's not more than one person, but we can use it to replace him or her.
Exactly. When we don't know the gender. So for example, in this case, we're talking in general. So it replaces, it substitutes he or she or him or her. But both are correct. You can say, what does he or she like, or what do they like? Both are correct. Okay, and finally, we have a question on budget.
Yeah, very important question. So, what's your budget?
Yes. What's your budget? What's your budget? Again, this is the verb to be. What is your budget? My budget is, so we invert subject and verb. Okay, so let's try this conversation. Help, I need to buy a present for my mum. I have no idea what to buy.
What's the occasion?
It's her birthday. True story, at the end of May.
At the end of May. So this is helpful, maybe.
Yeah.
What is she like?
She likes reading and doing arts and crafts.
What did you buy her last year?
Oh, I don't remember. No, I bought her a book.
Did she like the book?
Yes, she did.
Have you got a budget?
Yes. About, let's say 20 euros.
20 euros. Okay. Why don't you go into an art store and buy her some nice art supplies? Maybe ask her if there's anything that she needs, or get someone else to ask her if there's anything that she needs to continue her crafts.
Yeah, why not? By the way, that's a great idea. Arts and crafts. It's when you make things by hand, right? So my mum does this a lot. She's a teacher as well. She teaches children, and she does a lot of arts and crafts with them or for them. She makes props and, well, she loves making these kind of things. So.
Does she ever sell her arts and crafts?
Oh, no. It's only for herself and for her lessons.
Her lessons. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, she's great at it too. And the kids love it, especially when they're young. It's great for them to have something physical to see and to play with. One thing she does really well is she does a lot of storytelling, and
Mm-hmm.
so whatever story she's telling, she will create props for it,
Yeah.
or about the story, So
Oh,
it's
nice.
great.
So your
Um,
mom is Irish, right?
yes, yes,
Does she so she teaches here in not
in
in
Italy, yeah.
Bologna or
No, no, in Lombardy.
Lombardy?
Hmm.
Um, she teaches in Italian,
No, 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 in English.
in English. Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
all of her lessons are completely in English. She doesn't use Italian.
Oh, good.
She's usually with an Italian English teacher
Mm,
in her classes to help her.
okay.
But yeah, she uses English.
Is it like a bilingual school or no? That's
No,
her
just a
English
regular school. She does lessons in regular schools where she comes in, maybe it's a 10, 12-hour project maybe in a school,
lesson.
or maybe once a week she'll come in and do some stuff with them. She also has obviously private individual lessons as well, or small groups of
Hmm.
kids.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
my mom's my mom's a maths teacher, so
nice.
completely the opposite, basically. Yeah, that was my worst subject at school, maths. But my mom and my
Of
sister
course,
too.
of course, of course.
All the subjects
Um,
my mom loved, my sister and I hated, and vice versa.
of course. Right, last few minutes, let's have a look at what's your reaction when you receive a present you like or don't like.
Hmm.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, or I'd say, "Oh, you shouldn't have."
Yes, this is a very good one. You shouldn't have. You say you shouldn't have to mean that, no, this is too much, but in reality, you're like, I love it. Please
Yes.
send me more. Anyway, let's look at some options here. We have happy birthday. I got you something. I hope you like it.
Oh, thank you. You shouldn't have.
There you
The
go.
box is beautiful. Did you wrap it yourself?
Yes, I did. Go ahead, open it.
Oh, wow. It's a new scarf. It matches my coat perfectly.
I know, that's why I bought it.
I needed a new scarf. Thank you.
I'm glad you like it.
Like it. I love it.
Okay, so here we have wrap, like we said earlier, which is to, let's say, package the gift when you put either paper or maybe a bag around it.
Mhm.
And what about matches? It matches my coat perfectly. What
Mm.
does this mean?
Match means that something looks good with another article of clothing, for example, or it's the same color, it's a similar pattern. So you can wear those two things together.
Um, Another item. Exactly. You could talk about clothes that match.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could also be, I don't know, maybe in the house you buy a new, I don't know, lamp that matches the
Mm-hmm.
color of the wall, or I don't know, I have no idea, but also
Yeah,
around the house as well. Uh, it could be
exactly.
something matching.
Mm-hmm. And then we've
It's always,
got,
sorry, go ahead.
sorry, and then we've got, hold on a second. Sorry, I've just got to,
Go ahead.
I'll
Yeah,
let you continue a second.
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead. Anyway, we're almost at the end of our stream. We only have a minute left, so we're going to have a look at some of the vocabulary that we looked at during the lesson. So remember that to make a question, we have question word, auxiliary, subject, and infinitive. When you are closing a gift, we say to wrap. Um, a general rule is a rule of thumb. We're looking over the various vocabulary of the lesson. Um, what
Um,
is this?
it's a thought that counts means that it doesn't matter what the gift is. The fact that you've bought me a gift is nice. I appreciate it.
Mhm. And what about a housewarming gift or housewarming party?
housewarming gift is a gift that you give to someone who has just moved into a new house or flat, apartment.
Etc. Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us. There will be another webinar in 10 minutes if you want to join in. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.